Looking south now, the hurricane season is off to a fast and violent start. Hurricane Beryl has ripped off doors, windows, and roofs in homes across the southeast Caribbean. Matter of fact, it crossed over the Windward Islands and it caused damage on the island of Curacao. It's the earliest storm to reach Category 5 intensity in the Atlantic Basin.
Wow. On
record, and it's the second only storm to reach Hurricane 5 status in July. The previous storm was Hurricane Emily back in 2005. Thankfully, there were no immediate reports of deaths or injuries from the Windward Islands, but now all eyes on the Caribbean as that massive storm goes east. That is a brand new update from the National Hurricane Center. The 11 o'clock advisory just came out, and that upgrade was made to a Category 5 storm. That's the top end of the scale.
The NBC correspondent who was down there covering the hurricane said this is no joke, which obviously an understatement, but for them to say that at this point.
Right. So let's talk about this storm, where it is. We're going to put it in a context too, because the storm is going to obviously continue to move. There it is. You can kind of see where that number 5 is. It has crossed over those Windward Islands. Aruba is going to stay south of the storm, but you can kind of get an idea of the gist of how this thing will be moving through the Caribbean. And obviously your eye goes right to Jamaica. Jamaica is a very popular island destination in the Caribbean. And as of right now, tonight, the National Hurricane Center forecast, the latest forecast, continues to hold the intensity for about the next 12 hours, and then it starts to weaken a little bit. There'll be some outside influences interacting with this system that will help to bring down that intensity, hopefully, so that by the time Jamaica gets sideswiped by this, it will only likely be a Category 2 or 3 or 2. The problem is they are on the right side of the storm track, and that is the side that has the highest winds. That's also the side that gets the greatest storm surge. So there are some significant concerns, not only for Jamaica, but clear back here into Haiti and some of the Dominican Republic's southern shorelines. The good news is Puerto Rico is out of it. Puerto Rico will probably end up getting some big waves out of this and maybe a couple breezy days, but the big push of this whole thing obviously then would take it over toward the Yucatan Peninsula, weakening as a tropical storm over as it makes its landfall, then another landfall in the western side of the Gulf of Mexico. So lots to watch on this storm system as it does continue to barrel its way through the Caribbean. Certainly something that a lot of folks will be keeping an eye on. Meanwhile, here in northern Ohio, it couldn't be any different. We have sunshine to talk about, and we have such a beautiful day for you tomorrow. Don't forget the sunscreen. That's probably the biggest impact of tomorrow's weather. The UV index is expected to be a 9. That means you're going to need sunscreen multiple times throughout the day. Our air temperatures will likely reach into the mid 80s in many parts of northern Ohio. I think low and mid 80s will just about do it. And your National Design Mart on the hour forecast, you can see how quickly the temperatures jump. So we'll start in the 50s in the early morning. We'll cruise right through the 60s into the 70s and then ultimately land in the 80s. The heat is coming in, the humidity is coming in, all in advance of this storm system that is going to be one to keep an eye on. Watch how the thunderstorms tonight fade overnight and just kind of end up as scattered showers tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow afternoon, we have a whole nother round of thunderstorms that fire and begin to move east. Those too will likely fade as they get into Ohio. But the problem is the cold front that's the energy push with this whole thing is still coming in. And so we will have a renewed threat for thunderstorms that will be growing in the area for Wednesday afternoon. And a quick peek at what's going on with the July 4th holiday. The evening models were not kind to us. By noon, it looks like we have a few scattered showers. It looks like the heaviest rain will be in southern Ohio, but it did adjust. The models have adjusted a little bit farther north with the rain chances for Thursday. But watch what happens by the evening. Maybe it starts to settle down a little bit. Still too early to get into the particulars, but for now we've added some shower chances back into the forecast for the evening for the fireworks, as temperatures will likely be in the low 80s. Here's your Medina Country Club forecast. We will see a big pop in temperatures and humidity Wednesday. That's going to fuel those afternoon thunderstorms. Rain and rumble chances around for Thursday, and then it looks like slowly but surely things clear out. We still have a likelihood of rain Friday, but Saturday and Sunday so far are looking dry, and a peek at next week looks like it's going to get a little cooler. Al's going to